What's happening, sports fans? How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Good Tuesday to you. We're talking Kevin Garnett and Stephen A. Smith. They had a spirited conversation about the NBA. We're going to get into that segment, but make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Again, Kevin Garnett, Hall of Fame, power forward. He kind of revolutionized the four in the NBA. Well, he was on a recent episode of Stephen A. Smith podcast, and they were talking, of course, NBA. And Kevin Garnett had an interesting take on what's happening today. He said that a lot of people, a lot of podcasts, as far as sports podcasts, as myself and those on YouTube and the national media, he says he thinks they focus too much on the past NBA greats and should be appreciating and focusing on the now, the present. I could say it, but I'm going to let KG say it a little better. Take a listen to what he had to say, and we're going to come back and talk about it. Here's Kevin Garnett.
It's just that we are so hung up on the yesteryear of the culture and the history that built the league that, bro, we're missing out on greatness right in front of us. LeBron James is 30 years old doing something we ain't never seen. We got a whole 7'6" Frenchman in the league. He's a rookie looking like he's a 2-3-year-old player. Looking like he's a guard. He nutmegged the guard. Man, get the man, bro. Listen, Wilt Chamberlain is rolling over his grave right now. If we told him a 6'10" power forward was playing center and jumps this high is the best. Bro, we got to get off it, bro. Bro, we got to get off this. You know why, Steve? I say this, bro, and I say this. And I say this to the world. I'm glad we on here.
Sure.
Well, we got to get over this. Michael Jordan, Magic, they are the past. We got to embrace this new-ish. Bro, we ain't never seen Steph Curry. We ain't never seen nothing like Steph.
We ain't never seen it.
Shoots from Mars, bro. We keep talking about Jerry West. Shout that Jerry West was a super goon, did great things for the league. But yeah, we're in a new time, bro. Jerry West ain't never seen this type of range.
Now, as you can see, we all know KG is very passionate about the game of basketball and the NBA, but I'm going to push back on one thing he said in the soundbite, and I get what he's saying. I think a lot of times, you know, the old debates and arguments about the GOAT and the best, the greatest to play at certain positions, again, I think it does get old after a while, and it's funny to me. Seem like the NBA is the only sport that we get these spirited debates about who's the best, who's the GOAT, who's the greatest. And you hear a lot of the newer generation somewhat disrespecting the older generation, not respecting the past, which I think we do. You do see a lot of when it comes to the NBA. You don't really hear the NFL, the new players dissing the older players. Even Major League Baseball, you really don't hear a lot, or at least you don't hear sports opinionists and that topic come up. It's just for some reason only the NBA. But I do get what Kevin Garnett is saying, and I'm the type of guy, you know, I definitely appreciate what these young fellas are doing now, but I don't think you should ever forget about the past. You know, I think those are the guys that paved the way. And sometimes, you know, is the game better than it was 20, 30 years ago? It's different. I wouldn't necessarily say it's better, but it's different. I think you do have more athletic players now. You do. And that's because of, you know, in time, things do change. I think players do get better. But, you know, he did mention Victor Wembanyama, who's 7'5". He said that, you know, Wilt Chamberlain probably would be rolling over in his grave. Probably so. 7'5" guy. You didn't see that anywhere before. Then he said Stephen Curry, ability to shoot from Mars, who's one of the greatest shooters, if not the greatest shooter to ever play in the NBA. But I would push back on that where I slightly disagree. I think we saw a great shooter some years back by the name of, he went by Chris Jackson, but he now goes by Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Now, he didn't shoot a ton of threes because the game wasn't like that. But when you talk about an outright shooter, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, he can shoot the ball. And I think he's just as great a shooter as Stephen Curry is. And that's no disrespect to Stephen Curry by no means. But I think we have seen some great shooters prior to Stephen Curry. We just hadn't seen him hit the amount and barrage of threes that he had because, again, the game is changed and it's more of a three-point shooting game. Whereas, you know, back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. It's more post game, post up, get on the block, that type game. Then the Lakers came in the 80s, and it became more of they brought a whole different style too, far as fast breaking. So I get what Kevin Garnett is saying, but I would push back on just saying forget about the past. You never forget about the past, because then you don't know where you're going. Again, and now these present young fellas in the league, I like some of them, but I think the game is a little bit more watered down. But again, it's different. I'm not hating. I'm just saying it's different, and I think it is some great players that's playing in the league right now. And he has a point. I think we should appreciate him. So I'd like to know your thoughts on this Kevin Garnett, what he's saying. Do we need to focus more on the present and not really too much focus on where we've been? I'd like to know your thoughts on it. Talk to me in the comments. I am Kendrick, the Sports Guy. We will see you on the other side. And on the next report, I am out. Peace.